Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views. Today is Wednesday, March 7th, 2012. Let's get right into the charts here. Let's see how these markets are looking. We can start off with the S&P 500 E-mini futures. You will see that they are trading higher by about 4.5 points at the moment, right to around the 1346.75 level. Decent little bounce for the markets today. Yesterday, the markets were hit sharply. They went sharply lower as the U.S. dollar index exploded to the upside. There was some news out of Europe saying that Greece could go into a default. That could trigger the credit default swaps, and that's all it takes. These markets go right down. But notice the U.S. dollar index still very, very strong today, really not giving back all that much. If I pull up a chart there, you'll see the index is down about 6-7 cents. Sometimes it's down about 10 cents, but it is starting to move up a little bit. If the index starts to move up, the dollar starts to move up, watch for the market to get a little bit weak. Now, generally after a big update in the dollar, the next day you'll get a pause day or maybe even a small retrace, so we'll have to watch and see if that occurs. If the dollar does pull back, watch for these markets to move up higher today. That is what you need to watch for. Right now, yesterday's pullback was just a one-day event. We need to see some more follow-through there. If that happens, then we could be in store for maybe a little bit more of a correction or something of that nature. At the moment, the dollar has had a good move, and since the dollar has rebounded a little bit, the markets have become a little bit on the soft side. So again, it's all about inflation and deflation, and we'll see how it all pans out. In any regard, let's go right to gold and silver. Today you do have gold trading up about $8. Gold was hit hard yesterday. Let's take a look at the GLD this morning. You'll see the GLD trading around 163. Yesterday it did close at 162.70. So it's up a little bit. Nothing great, nothing terrible. Was up a little bit higher in the pre-market, but as the dollar caught a bid, notice how gold comes down. You'll see the same situation usually for oil. Let's take a look at the oil prices today. Trading in at $40.13 on the United States Oil Fund. Spot crude right now is trading higher by about 45 cents to 105.13 per barrel. So still a very, very high price for oil right now. Brent crude obviously is much higher, but West Texas crude, or light sweet crude as we call it, is trading just above the 105 level. Still a pretty good or pretty high level for oil. Last night I went and filled up my gas tank, and it was about $3.80 for regular unleaded gas. So once again, that will affect the U.S. economy overall. High gas prices are a direct tax on all consumers. Now, let's talk about the news that was just released. You had ADP private sector payrolls released. Looks like it was an increase of 216,000 jobs for the month of February. Again, we are going to have the big government job payroll, non-farm payroll report this Friday, and that will be what everybody is watching for. Again, the government has reported some big numbers recently. It is an election year. I would not expect that to change at this moment. Okay, so as we speak, the dollar has pulled back a little bit. Futures have climbed up a little bit, now trading up nearly 6 points on the futures. So a decent little pop, and we'll see how this market shakes out and plays out once the opening bell rings in about an hour and 10 minutes. So we'll see how that plays out there. All right, there are a lot of stocks to talk about today, believe it or not. Rarity that we get a lot of stocks at the end of earnings season. But let's talk about Pandora first. This stock is getting hit pretty hard. Couple of levels I think you got to watch for on this Pandora. Right now it's trading at $10.78. It's down it's down from a close of $14.27. So this is a pretty robust move lower. I think you have to watch this 1070 level, maybe even a little bit lower. I'd watch 1045. There's going to be support. After that, it could go to $10 and then ultimately back down to $9.19. But the gap fill area right there, which should be pretty good, is around $10.45. $10.70 is also a pretty decent roundabout support level for the stock as well. But it looks like a pretty strong gap, so I would not rule it out that this thing could go lower, and there is that possibility. So watch 1045. There could be a little bit of a bounce there. Then you're going to look at $10 even, and then all the way down to $9, $9.19 would be the double bottom from December 12th. So again, those are all the levels you got to watch for this thing, but Pandora is really getting hit hard this morning. All right, let's take a look at Apple. Apple's going to release their iPad 3 or iPad 32. I don't even know what number they're up to. But we'll see if this thing is as hot as they say it's going to be. You never want to rule out Apple because they do have such a big cult following of a clientele base that continue to buy products one after the other whenever a new product is released. But in any case, I think this one is iPad 3 that's being released today. Apple's trading up a little bit. I'm not seeing all that great of a move, but you never know how the stock will react. So sometimes the stock has a tendency to move up into the announcement. I think the company is going to show the iPad 3 around 1 o'clock this afternoon. So we'll see if it's a fade candidate after there. But right now, I wouldn't do anything with Apple at the moment. Let's take a look at SINA. SINA networking company is trading higher this morning. It looks like a strong gap up. The stock is trading around 1450 at the moment. There's going to be some decent resistance in this general vicinity. I'd say around 1460, and then ultimately more around $15. But that's a strong gap up on SINA. I would not short the stock right here. The stock is having a decent little move. It's coming off of a low too, so that looks like a strong gap to me. You're going to watch $15, $15.40, and $15.89. Those will all be respectable resistance points. However, it is a strong gap, so again, I'm not putting it on my fade list here. It is a pretty decent gap today. Let's take a look at DSCO. This is Discovery Laboratories. The stock is having a pretty good day today, trading up around the 550 level. Do not touch it. Stock is overdone, overbought. Yesterday it had a wild day, traded around 450, down to around 375. Today the stock is trading up at 550. Again, it is just overdone already, but it is coming off of a base, so it does have some strength there. But I just would leave it alone. I would not be putting on my short candidate list. Let's take a look at Netflix this morning. Stock is getting a little bit of a pop, traded up to the 113 level, now trading down to around 111. Netflix still remains in this sideways range, in my opinion. Hard to make much out of it. If it got down to around $93, $94, I would be attracted to it. Right now, I wouldn't do much with Netflix at the moment. I'd kind of just shy away, leave it alone. Maybe it trades up a little bit more. You can't rule that out. But I don't think there's a whole lot to do here with Netflix, even though you have that morning pop-up. A lot of times that's just a fake out. The pattern that it's coming off of, you know, it may have a little bit of strength, but again, a move up to 113 on this stock is kind of the day range that this stock does. It trades in that, you know, big wide range each and every day. So very hard to trust the real conviction there, and I don't. So that's what I'm looking at. So again, there are a few stocks in motion this morning. Again, nothing overwhelming, but that's just the way it is. Last night you had most of the Asian markets lower, but today the U.S. markets are higher. And once again, futures are trading higher by about 6 points at the moment. So decent little pop there. But if the dollar starts to rally up once the opening bell rings, that could put a kibosh on this little morning rally. But overall, markets are looking fine this morning, bouncing back a little bit from yesterday's big decline. We'll leave it there. I want to wish you all a great trading day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good day now.